It's been a few months since I last did an update on my dividend investing portfolio and personal finances, and a lot has been happening in the stock market since then. We've seen declines in the S&P 500 and FTSE 100 indexes, which is where most of my stocks are from in my portfolio. The S&P 500 fell around 20%, and the FTSE 100 fell around 8%. In this video, I'll provide a detailed review of my dividend stock portfolio and the dividends that I received from April to June this year. I'll also discuss any stocks that I've bought or sold during that time too, and explain what I'm planning to do during this market downturn. And finally, I'll give an update on my income and expenditure for my rental property investments. My stock portfolio currently stands at £39,671.19 invested. The total market value has been a bit up and down over the last few months. You can see that my returns went from 15% down to 5%, then back up to 10%. But as a dividend investor, I don't really worry too much about the market value of my holdings. As we all know, the market is very volatile, and it's my intention to never sell. I'm only really interested in the income that the portfolio generates through dividends. I want to build an asset for myself that pays me each month. For at least the next 15 years or so, I don't ever intend on taking a penny out of my portfolio. After that, I am hoping that the dividends can start to contribute towards my monthly expenses. The recent market volatility doesn't change what I'm trying to do, and my investing approach remains very simple. Buy good companies each month, hold them for the long term, and reinvest all dividends. I do have a video explaining my investing strategy in full if you're interested. So these are my top 10 positions in my portfolio by market value. The ETFs that I have still hold the top 4 positions, which is how I want to keep it. And I have been buying a new ETF, Invesco's High Dividend European offering, ticker EUHD. So over time, I do expect this to rise into one of the top 5 positions. It's currently in 9th position, so I'll keep adding to push this higher. Then I have some large blue chip companies making up the rest of the list. The app that I'm using here is Trading 212, and if you're interested in starting a portfolio with them, I do have a link in the description where you can use my code and we'll both get a free share worth up to £100. I've always tried to invest at least £500 each month as a minimum, which I've been really consistent at. And this graph shows how my total amount invested has grown over time. After recently moving jobs and securing a pay rise, I was hoping to start investing £1,000 each month. But given that the way the cost of living prices have been increasing through inflation, I'm not sure that I'll be able to hit this each month. Instead, I'm looking to add £750 when I get paid my salary, and then if I have any cash left at the end of the month, I will add that into the portfolio as well. My strategy is to use this portion of my salary to continue dollar cost averaging into my portfolio, which should smooth out any price volatility over the long run. I have done a bit of an audit on my personal finances recently, renegotiating my contracts for my broadband, mobile phone and Sky TV, and managed to save around £50 a month on those bills. Something that I like to preach is to prioritise increasing your income over decreasing your spending. It's still good practice to try and reduce your expenditure, but at some point you'll hit a floor, where you just can't go any lower. However, your earning potential is uncapped. This is why I invest in cash-producing assets. As you might expect, there have been some purchases within my portfolio since my last update. Notable additions include a further £1,400.37 invested into my ETFs, including £586.90 into EUHD, the new position that I mentioned earlier. I also bought 25 shares of AT&T when they dipped under $20, and I also bought 2 more shares of Microsoft, as the price had dropped quite a bit under my average purchase price, which is good for me to average down on my position. After these buys, this means that the overall yield for my portfolio as a whole currently sits at 3.3%. which equates to around £1,299.63 per year in predicted dividends, or £108.30 per month. There will always be a discrepancy between my actual dividends received and my predicted dividends, just due to the timing of me purchasing shares and then being eligible through the ex-date of the dividends. But I am hopeful to start consistently hitting at least £100 per month as an average throughout the rest of the year. Over the coming months, I intend to keep buying into my ETFs each month and adding to my blue chip companies as and when I feel that there's value in the market. If any of the stock prices fall below my average cost basis, then I'm always happy to average down. I do feel that some stocks will continue to fall in price, and I believe that Q3, Q4 this year will be hit hard based on the research that I've done. This would represent a great opportunity to add future dividend income at a discount. However, as I pointed out in a recent video, I won't be trying to time the market, but will instead just keep adding to my portfolio each month. Now let's look at the dividend income I received over the last few months. In April 2022, I actually received £115.84 in dividends from 15 different stocks. Notable dividends include £18.53 from VOOC and £14.79 from VHYL. In May 2022, I received £83.03 from 8 different stocks, which included a really nice £25.87 from Aviva. June 2022 saw me receive my largest ever monthly dividend amount, when I earned £177.58. There were some pretty big individual dividend amounts that contributed towards this, including £46.23 from EUHD, £29.65 from HDLG, and £27.73 from Legal & General. I am looking forward to the days when these size dividends will be normal. And something that is really pleasing is that the shares of HDLG trade at around £28, and EUHD trades at around £18. So I'm now able to purchase whole shares each quarter just from dividends. This is my long-term goal for all of my holdings, as it will hopefully start to kickstart the snowball effect. So looking into this graph, which shows all of my dividends since starting investing in 2020, we can see that the numbers are increasing year on year if we compare the purple 2020 bars with the blue 2021 bars and the green 2022 bars. You might have noticed from other videos that I do love a graph, and I find it really motivating by visualizing this progress. As I've mentioned, 2022 has again seen me break my all-time high month, with June's total of £177.58, beating December 2021's total of £132.72. The average monthly dividend in 2020 was £45.29. The average in 2021 was £77.88. And the average in 2022 so far is £93.03. So in just 2 years I've managed to double my first year's total. My short to medium term aim was to eventually earn an average of £100 per month consistently. At the current yield of 3.3%, this would need around £36,363 to theoretically hit this. So in theory I have achieved this and should start to see £100 averages for the rest of 2022. And so I need to set myself a new target. Therefore my next aim is £150 per month. And I think that would really help to continue the compounding effect. At the current yield, I will need to invest £54,545.45. So I do have some way to go to achieve this, and I will need to invest around a further £14,874.26. But this is something that I will carry on working towards, and I'm confident that this will happen one day in the future if I stick to my investing strategy. As always, all dividends stay in the portfolio and are reinvested into purchasing more shares. My portfolio has earned a total of £2,079.45 in dividends since I made my very first share purchase in December 2019. By reinvesting the dividends, this has increased my portfolio from £37,591.74 to £39,671.19, which is a growth rate of around 5.53% so far. I do expect this percentage to get larger over time as more dividends are received and then reinvested. I also invest in real estate and currently own 2 buy-to-let properties. Since my last update, this is what the finances look like. The rental income has remained constant, as have the management fee and the mortgage cost. And thankfully, I've still not had any repairs or maintenance issues for a while now, which, if you are a regular viewer to my income updates, you'll know that this hasn't always been the case. So fingers crossed that this continues. My pre-tax profit over the last 3 months is £851.79 per month, and £2,555.37 in total. This profit just sits in a separate bank account to cover the mortgage payments and the tax bill. I also use it as a bit of an emergency fund and dip into it every so often. Also, I would draw on this should we see any deep extreme market crashes, and I had the opportunity to scoop up some bargain prices. Now that you've heard my portfolio update, I'd be really interested to hear from you, the viewers. How has your portfolio been performing? Have you been affected by the recent market crash? And what's your plan for the rest of the year? Let me know in the comments section below. I'll be reading and responding to every message. I hope that you found this video interesting and informative, and I hope it's given you inspiration and ideas for your own personal finances. If you have, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.